been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Can you believe it? I can't. We have covered a huge portion of God's plan in Scripture in just the last 2 weeks. We went from just being separated in sin to learning all that God has done for us and loving us enough to send Yeshua, who was in the flesh and had a choice, by the way, and still went through the salvation plan. That also shows how much he hated the sin we were in and that separation from his creation. And that was week 1. Week 2, how to turn from our sin and hate our sin and start walking in relationship with God. Baby steps, okay? And guys, I'm 25 years into this. I'm still taking baby steps, all right? Sometimes they'll feel like leaps, but really it's just baby step after baby step, and the building a relationship is so worth it. I'm just saying it. It's so worth it. Every time you don't want to, or you're like, I don't know if this is doing any good, believe me, it builds on each other. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of stop taking in all this information. We're just going to reflect. And the to-do list today is write a letter to God thanking him for his wonderful salvation. All right? Thank you note, a love letter. Oh, man. So in doing that, the scripture that comes to mind, and it's not on here, but if you want to write down Hebrews 12:28, and it says, since we are, since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us give thanks. And isn't that so true? We are now a part, we are grafted in, we are part of God's family, right? And we are co-heirs with Christ. What? Yes. That's so cool. We are going to be working kingdom work here and receiving a kingdom in the future that is unshakable. So with that, let's just stop and let us give thanks. There's also a thought that I had. I was in the Psalms, and I think it was 92. I might be wrong, but it's all over the Psalms where there was a word thanks. I was prompted to just look at like the through the concordance in the Hebrew word, and I don't remember what the Hebrew word is, but I do. You could look it up because it's H3034. All right. And that word is used like 80 different times in Scripture. And so depending on your translation, and I'm sure that's not the only word for thanks in Scripture, but this particular word, of the 80 times, it was actually used more for confession and praise than it was thanks. And so I started kind of looking up a few of them, and I realized all of them were kind of saying the same thing. It was more about taking the thanksgiving out of our heart and just doing something with it. Right? And so it's not just, and it's not that it's not enough, and God's not going to love you any less if you don't do this, by the way. All right? He loves you just the same, but this builds relationship. Okay? This is a step to take to build relationship. I'll prove it to you. My kids love to do stuff like this. And I'm pretty sure it's kind of easy for kids. Do you not see this all over the place where kids just want their parents to know they love them, and they draw them pictures or they give them little notes? I have some right here with me. So our 6-year-old, Talia, this is for Mom, and she just gives it to me. This is a couple months old. It was in a book, and she had a cookie cutter that it was the shape of a heart that she drew all over. And or you get something that says I love you on the back of something like this, right? And it's just showing you where they're at the time. Or this is one of I just love this one. This was actually for our anniversary. The boys, they wanted to give us and the way they put it when they gave it to us just warmed my heart. And I'm not probably going to say it word for word, but they said, we love how you love each other, right? This is love letter. And then this is love, right? Okay, so this is where they were at. This is how they could communicate to us that they loved us, or that they were communicating how they saw our love. And I mean, look at that many points, guys. That's pretty special. So it doesn't matter. All of these are right. So whatever you do today, I just encourage you to do something. Whether you write it out. That's what I did. Okay, I wrote it out, and it was awkward. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Or whether you write a poem, whether you write a song, whether you sing a song, whether you draw a picture. I just encourage you to do something to reflect on and show God this is what's in my heart. Okay. Now, when I went to write, I was actually kind of clueless. That's why I got out these things and realized, this comes natural to kids. Why can't I do this? And so I just decided to just start writing. I didn't know what I was going to say, and I just started writing. And what started pouring out of my heart was so real to me. The words, guys, it's not like the magnitude of the words. There's only like 4 ways to say thank you, by the way. Look it up in the thesaurus. Thank you, appreciate, grateful, and oblige. All right? So it's not the magnitude of words. But what came out felt real and hit me where I'm at in my walk. And that's what made it so powerful. Okay. And in doing that, what happened was, let me find it. I said, I didn't want this just in my journal. I want this in my Bible as a bookmark. So I went and I found a little thank you note, and I decided to rewrite it. Because I wanted to keep hold and realize what was pouring out my heart. And then you'll notice there's a blank space. That's for tomorrow. You'll find that out. But anyway, so what you do doesn't matter as much as just doing something, okay? Wherever you're at, however you want to express your thanks to God today, I encourage you to do it. And in doing so, you're going to be taking another baby step. You're going to be building relationship, and that's the goal. All right? I love you, and I hope you remember you always have friends in Messiah, Texas.